So, J-Ram, can I paint you a
Oh,
word picture?
oh, Christ Almighty! What's this going to be?
It is. It's, let's say, 1990. Let me look something up really quick. Yeah, okay. It is even earlier than I thought. It is maybe 1996.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting at the new computer that your family got. It is a Macintosh Performa. It is,
Okay.
in fact, I believe a Macintosh Performa 6300. It says Power PC on the outside of it. It was, you know, a big beige box. There was a maybe 25-pound monitor on top of it. And your brother's living with you. And he stays up late often. But he doesn't understand one bit why your father is obsessed with Macintoshes.
Mm-hmm.
So he looks it up and he talks with your dad, and they find out, oh, oh, we can run DOS on this.
Uh,
So he stays up late and he shows you something. And it fires up and he holds a couple of buttons while it boots up. And it boots up not to the Happy Mac screen, but a black screen with white text that says C: prompt. And he types a word, and up comes a DOS script that he wrote that has the 5 programs that are installed on the DOS side. And he presses 3 and hits enter. And up pops something that what did I say, 1996? That your 10-year-old mind loses itself in. And
oh,
there's harsh guitars, obviously made for MIDI. There's all sorts of things going on. And he smiles, and he tells you that to move forward and back, it's the arrow keys, and that fire is control, and space is open doors. You're like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you hit new game, and it says hurt me plenty.
Uh-huh.
And welcome to FooM.
What the Christ Almighty is this? Sound isn't responding. Oh no. That's 1993. Okay.
Wait, Tad's is 1993. Hang on. I actually got the right. There we go. 95.
Oh my God. All
So,
right.
yeah.
Okay. I'm in. What are we doing?
So graphics are not responding, resorting to text version. Sound
So
is not
good.
responding. Init WAD. It's the shareware WAD. This version of FooM has been modified. DI software cannot offer any customer support for modified games. Load graph. Unable to load. Load text. RIP. ASCII. Episode 1. Knee Deep in the Dead. Mission 1. Hangar Entrance. FooM, the shoot 'em up text adventure. Shareware version 1.01D. written by Piers Johnson, DI Software, 1995.
I support this. All right, go on.
You're in a dark, squarish room. You're just inside the entry bay, which is closed behind you. There's no way out that way. Pillars obscure your view, and the viewport on the right lets in but a little light. The center of the room, to the north, is depressed. A couple of steps lead down to it. A pillar prevents you from moving to the northwest, but your movement towards your left to the west is unhindered. You see a health bonus here.
X self.
How do we feel about this size? Let's make it a little bigger. I don't know the word self, X me. You look about the same as always. Let's look at this bonus. It's a standard health bonus. It will revitalize you. So I will start by saying that 2 of the 3 games that I pulled out for B-sides are not well rated. But they all have the same theme. They are all first-person shooters.
So, okay, I love this. God Mode.
Bless. This game wasn't made by id Software. It was made by DI Software. Okay, DDQD. Boo. Wait.
Lame.
Wait. DIDQD. Degreelessness mode on.
Degreelessness?
Yeah, that was what God mode was called.
Oh, so good. All right, we're in business now, baby.
All right. Wait a minute. DISPISPOPD. Boo. DI behold. I'm not going to implement this cheat. Go away. Crap, what are the other ones?
I'm genuinely impressed that you remembered that.
DIFA. Happy ammo included. DIKFA. Very happy ammo included. What is our inventory? I'm going to reset because I don't really like... I wanted to play it, but now I'm
of course.
What?
I can't believe that was not the first thing you thought of, my man. Like...
Oh, man, what are the other... I am glad that it didn't let you do ID Behold, because that's like all a bunch of really weird cheats. Oh, I can't remember any other ones. I was in a Point Then Clicks channel when she was playing Doom 64, which is really out of character for her. Obviously, she normally does point and clicks.
Right.
She's playing through Quest for Glory 4 right now. She's almost done with the whole Quest for Glory series. She's got 4 and I think 5. And it's wild. Like, very interesting. A different kind of Sierra game, for sure, than like a Roberta Williams fantasy game. That rules, though. The BFG is the ultimate in personal military hardware. It will shoot anything in sight in one blast. Its computer guidance system searching the area for enemy life forms. All right. That does rule. So if we can't get anywhere, we have cheats.
You'd love to see it.
Also, honestly, I feel like more more parser games should have cheats.
I agree completely.
Big head mode and whatnot. Sorry.
Well, I mean, God. All right. Let's get that health bonus.
All right, get bonus. Your health just improved. Can we have a pistol and a lamp? Maybe there's something in here. Hang on. Let me see if there's a help file saying that if there's anything. It was specifically designed and tested on an 80 by 25 screen. I don't know if that helps. No. Okay. Maybe there's a help file. Yes. Okay. JRM, we have to remember these commands.
Shoot, shoot, shoot. Okay, I think I can get that.
Get score gives us health and armor levels, as well as how much ammunition you're carrying. Oh, health and armor is in the top right. We have 101 health, 3 armor. That makes sense. How much ammunition you're carrying. It also doesn't cost you a turn. Your health level appears at all times on the right of the status line. Oh, okay. So that's health and turns. Inventory. Most objects in FooM are used as soon as you pick them up. Health and armor bonuses, ammo clips, etc., so they don't appear in your inventory. What will appear: weapons, door keys, lamp. Try using cheat codes for added pleasure. The map doesn't appear on the screen, so tab doesn't do anything. Use a piece of paper. Similarly, the function keys aren't implemented because there's little need for gamma correction, and the game's save and load functions are supplied by the save, restore, and restart. Excellent. Okay. So what is our score? After 3 turns, your health has become 101%. Your armor is now 0%. Your ammunition levels are, we start with the 50 bullets. Okay, so we can go west. Where? So one of the things that I'm kind of interested in this is like, how do you turn a open kind of world where, like, what is a step, what is north, what is west, that kind of thing, into a parser?
That is a fantastic question. From what I recall of the original Doom, which I played a good bit of, not a devotee, shooters never been my thing, but, you know, I was bored as shit in 1997. Like, yeah, I get it. There are discrete zones, right? Thus the key cards.
Yeah, there's discrete zones. There's rooms. I mean, they're... Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
It's probably a easier game to adapt into a kind of discrete text-based space than, like, say, I don't know, Skyrim.
Yeah, totally. I am going to go kind of autopilot here and go straight to the west.
By all means, I am along for the ride on this one.
So we're in a dingy corner, peering through the gloom caused by a bad light attenuation algorithm. You can just make out this corner of the room. The walls are streaked and grimy. The room opens out to the northeast and northeast. You see a health bonus here.
We should probably be grabbing all the bonuses that we can.
Sure. Your health just improved. So we can go to the north or northeast.
Let's go northeast.
Oh, northeast. As I'm sitting here mapping, and I'm like, So that would be like going north from where we started. Central Depression. The center of the hangar entrance. You can see more through the viewport from here. Outside is a wide open space with an acid pool in the center. There appears to be something blue in the pool. On the other side of the opening is another viewport, and on the south side is a tunnel entrance. You cannot get through the viewport. There is a leaky barrel here. I wouldn't stand too close to it.
Stand next to barrel.
Near the western end of the depression, there lies the corpse of someone or something unknown. So let's look at this barrel. It's a leaky barrel containing explosive material.
I think, if I recall correctly, so part of the trick is to get the enemies to chase you and then shoot the barrel.
Yes.
Nice.
I mean, we'll see if there's an opportunity for that. The corpse is the bloody, pulpy mess that was once a person.
So, nothing on the corpse, huh?
Nope. Okay. Oh, it's a wide open space. Oh, no. Yeah. So I think we can go anywhere from here. So let's go... I'm going to angle west just because I know there's stuff there.
Cool.
Just because I have this map all but memorized.
I was going to say, this is the sound of a man who knows his Doom.
I mean, I at least know this one room. I get very confused in Doom because I'm like, I know where all the secrets are, and then I'm like, where the hell is the secret? I used to be able to, like, get 100% on everything except for par time because, God, how do you get those par times?
I could not tell you, my friend.
So this side of the room forms an entry for the vestibule to the west. The room you're in disappears into the gloom east of here. The depression is directly east of you now. Through the doorway to the west, you can just make out some stairs. That's what I was looking for. The pillars around the depression prevent movement to the northeast and southeast. If you were playing a harder level of difficulty, you would be being shot at right now. A barrel is dangerously close to you here. Let's keep going west.
This is pretty good.
The hangar entrance closes here to form a pokey corridor leading into a room with a central staircase and two pillars on either side of the stairs. The carcass of another Marine is just to the southwest. You see a health bonus, a health bonus, a health bonus, a health bonus, an armor bonus, and an armor bonus here. A soldier is here. A soldier is here. A sergeant is at the top of the stairs here. A sergeant at the top of the stairs here.
Talk to soldier?
Talk to soldier. I don't know the word talk.
Cop tads. All right.
J-Ram, it is Doom.
Look, I don't know. This is a text-adventure version of Doom. Maybe you can find a narrative, like, pro-social way through it. I don't fucking know.
Deep in your heart, you don't want to hurt the hell demons.
Look, I didn't say the demons. These are soldiers and sergeants, or they are theoretically on our side.
J-Ram, no.
They're not. Okay, fine. Shoot the soldier. Fine. Wow, fuck me for trying to take a different approach to the... What's the Doom guy's name? Is it just Doom Guy?
It is literally Doom Guy.
Oh, wow. Pardon me for thinking the Doom Guy might have hidden depths in his person. Maybe he has a really good charisma stat. I don't know. Like...
J-Ram.
All right, shoot the fucking soldier.
No, no. I have to take time to send you this something.
Oh, very good.
Shoot soldier. Which soldier do you mean? Northern soldier or southern soldier? I didn't know we would be getting into politics here.
Fuck the boys in gray.
Shoot southern soldier with your pistol. Blam, 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 splat. Southern soldier dies from the damage you inflicted. Nearest sergeant attacks, doing 1 point of damage. Furthest sergeant attacks, doing 2 points of damage. Northern soldier attacks, doing 1 point of damage. So I guess let's shoot the other soldier. Blam, 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 splat. Northern soldier dies from the damage you inflicted. Nearest sergeant attacks, doing 3 points of damage. Furthest sergeant attacks, doing 1 point of damage. Shoot nearest sergeant?
Yep,
so, like, this is where I think there's interesting things to be found here. Like, can you miss? Does distance matter?
Does stats actually do rules on the back end? Is that a thing that you can program in? I know that you can do that in a roundabout way and inform.
Well, these are definitely random things. They can miss you.
Nice.
So we fired. We didn't kill it. The nearest sergeant missed us, and the furthest sergeant did 7 points of damage to us. Let's fire again. So it also missed us again, and the sergeant did 6 points of damage.
How are we looking? What's our character portrait?
It's starting. You know what? JRM? How is our character portrait? Hang on. Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, why is this so hard? I should have thought of this.
What you doing there, Dougie?
Bummer. All right, I can't find it quickly. I was trying to find all the Doom faces. Oh, here we are. Here we are.
The devs in my work channel have adopted those as custom Slack emojis to report the status of their projects. They're fun bunch.
That's not bleak. Don't mind me. Who can we choose?
Oh, God. All right.
There we go.
Oh, my God.
So we're somewhere on this range.
Good to know.
All right, let's fire on the last sergeant. So, like, this is something that... So, this isn't just me goofing. Like, I think going wildly from, like, something that is deeply literary and, like, you're supposed to care about, like, the plot and care about the characters, and successfully you do care about the characters, to something where I just did the same action effectively like 8 times in a row. And like I think that that's a valid like discussion on like what Doom is, but like what I'm kind of looking for out of this, and if we get to them, and I think we will, these are relatively short games. Like I think what I'm looking to get out of this is like how to handle combat, because
you're not going to find it here, man.
Well, maybe. I mean, after seeing this, no, but definitely like the concept of random attacks is something.
Oh yeah, though there are plenty of text-based, and I would say even text-based IF games that include combat in kind of an interesting way. Arthur DeBianca, I want to say is the name. The guy that did Skies Above has a dungeon crawl, like just a good old-fashioned roguelite in text, and it's very good. The gameplay, like depending on what you define by gameplay there, right? The gameplay there is more about figuring out new weaknesses, internally mapping the space that you're dropped in, playing to whatever strengths, artifacts that you find. Like that right there, that is gameplay. This is just typing shoot X.
For sure.
To be clear, I'm not complaining. Like this is hilarious. I'm having a lovely time. I do not think that this is gonna hold up for an entire game.
Oh no, and it's not. It does not last long. But we went up the stairs to the scenic vista. At the top of the stairs is a platform with a central table and windows on all sides, through which the dramatic landscape of wooded mountainous hills can be seen. It's quite bright here, almost like being outside. Sadly, however, you can't go outside. There's no floor, and there's no door, and the drop is too great. Another exploded corpse lies on the floor here. You see an armor bonus, a pump-action shotgun, and a pump-action shotgun here. Sitting on the table is a suit of green armor.
Well, get armor. Seems obvious.
I've been getting all.
Pro tip, shoot the demon.
Pump-action shotgun. Click clunk.
God, this is so stupid.
Corpse has the same, oh, whoops. British people. Dang it. Text is the same for the corpses, which is kind of unfortunate. But also, it is what it is. We're also more on this side of things. Okay. I think all we can do... I don't think we can go anyway. Oh. Verbose mode. Yes. Okay. We're in the bad spot, so we should be able to go north. Another dingy corner. Slightly better than the last one. This dingy corner has a lot more to offer. There's a lot of blood on the wall and a trail of gore leading east. You see an armor bonus here.
I wonder if we should pick it up.
A large tunnel leads away, so we went further east. A large tunnel leads away from the hangar entrance here, heading north for a while before curving around to the east. To the south is a depression, and the viewport is southeast. You have a better view of the tunnel outside from here, and you can see that it has stairs going down inside it. Next to a barrel, the bloody corpse of a Marine lies face down on the floor. The body is cold and stripped of all equipment. You see an armor bonus here. So I guess let's go north?
Yeah, why not?
Main tunnel. You're in the tunnel from the entrance to the center of the complex. The streaked and rusty walls have endured a lot of gunfire and are heavily scarred. To the south is a hangar entrance, and to the east is a closed metal fire door. Half under the door is the body of a Marine. He must be a recent casualty because the body is well preserved. All right, let's look at the body. Same text. So let's keep going north.
Getting the sense, and this is actually, again, not a complaint, that the author of this game was like, wouldn't that be funny? And then kind of like slapped it together, which is the way that you should make games, like, frankly. I would love more weird little IF experiments like this. That said, does it make the repetitiousness any more satisfying?
Oh. Well, all right. Serious test of any game. Opening metal fire door. Good, we do not have to open doors.
Can we Zizzy?
XY, ZZY. No, we cannot.
Boo.
Look, we can IDDQD.
I mean, that's almost better.
I do wish that there was no clip mode.
How would that even work?
I don't know. You just have to have everything outside of the map be just a twisty, like, the twisty, turny maze of passages. All right, well, we're in the computer center west. A dark room with a central cubicle to the east, which contains some useful items. Passages around it to the southeast and northeast are obscured by the gloom. The computer terminals around the walls are unlit, but a faint light permeates the room. It is not, however, bright enough for you to see without your lamp. There's an armor bonus, a sergeant, a soldier, and a soldier.
All right, take these motherfuckers down.
Which soldier do you mean? The grimy soldier or the fat soldier? So, okay, I'm sorry. Do these have unique... Okay.
Oh, nice.
Xing the grimy soldier. He was once one of your comrades. But now this former human is a zombie who serves the demonic forces which have invaded the station. Okay. Cool. Well, shoot grimy soldier. Grimy soldier dies. Shoot. Fat soldier. Shoot.
We need to get on the U.S. Post Office website.
Oh, I'm just curious. X the left sergeant. Basically the same thing. He was once one of your commanders, but now this former sergeant is a zombie who fights for the invading demonic forces. He carries a mean shotgun, so watch out. Oh, since we're... Well, okay. I think since we're up close to this one... It was faster. It was faster, though. Or maybe they were just shooting each other. Yeah. So that's mildly interesting.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Hang on. Oh, okay. Cool. Automatically switched. Good. Okay. So southeast and northeast. Let's go. We go southeast. The eastern end of the computing center. Oh, what's up?
Do we have some appropriately extreme music going on in the background? I can't hear because I'm on the host stream.
No, but once if we get to it, once we switch games, I have a specific soundtrack to play.
Love it.
The eastern end of the computing center is darker as the light from the cubicle doesn't come this direction. A passage leads to the east, carving around to the southeast at its midpoint. You see an armor bonus here. There's a fat soldier in the passage and a sergeant in the dark.
I heard Sergeant in the Dark was Bjork's follow-up film. It wasn't really well received. Kind of pro-war.
So what happens if we go north? Can't go that way. Northwest, northeast. Oh, interesting. So both the northwest and the northeast come in the same direction. That's kind of interesting.
Kind of buggy, but whatevs. I'm not going to hold it too hard against it.
I don't feel like coding this out. There's nothing there. We're at a short passage. The computing center is to the west, and a large chamber with a zigzag path across its middle opens up before you. Acid surrounds the path. You see a health bonus, and a clip of bullets. An imp on the ledge is here. A thin soldier is here. A sergeant on the zigzag path is here, and another imp on the ledge is here. Sergeant. Shoot. Soldier. Shoot. Left imp. Shoot. Right imp. Oh no, I'm out of ammo for my shotgun. So we're not quite that far. Okay. So what if we go... Oh, let's get all. Let's X the acid. I don't see any acid here. Okay, fine.
Fair enough.
X the path. All right.
All right, is the ammo universal?
East. I'm sorry?
Is the ammo universal? Like, can we just use the bullets in our shotgun?
No. We ran out of shotgun shells.
True to the spirit of the original, I suppose.
All right. Is it north? Is it east? Is it south? It's south. A large chamber with a viewport on the west wall, showing you that outside area again. There are lamps in the corners of the room, but the light from outside illuminates the room quite well enough. Next to the lamp on your right is the body of another Marine. The shredded corpse of someone else lies in the middle of the zigzag path. To the southeast is a ledge. See a pile of shotgun shells, a pump-action shotgun, and a clip of bullets, and a sergeant by the lamp is here. Well, shoot, sergeant. So no, what I thought was distance was actually that we were using our shotgun.
Oh.
Oh, and it automatically wields your highest level. That's great. So let's go southeast. Yes. Up. Look. Southeast.
I don't see why not.
I don't either.
Okay. What happens if we look again?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Oh no. Rip.
Southeast. Enter. Let up. Ledge. Okay, fine. All right. Let's just go south. No secrets.
Okay.
Heartbroken. You see, you can get a bunch of shotgun shells and something else up there. Also interesting, no extra health so far. It's been like the little things, but not like stim packs. This passage gives you some time to breathe. It's fairly safe. There's another metal door in front of you. There must be an exit to the outside somewhere around here, judging from where that tunnel outside comes out. See a pile of shotgun shells here. Great. Oh, man. X wall? Which wall do you mean? The western wall or the eastern wall? X western wall? The wall has been scraped by flywheels and is crumbling at the edges from impacts. It must be openable. Open western wall.
I wonder if you get stim packs on the harder mode.
I don't think there is actually a harder mode.
Oh.
But we open the western wall. A steep stairway descends here to a landing. You almost bash your head on the ceiling. It drops so quickly. At the landing, the stairs rise precariously again to the exit to the outside, through which sunlight is streaming into the tunnel. See a box of bullets, shotgun shells, and a medikit. Get all.
Hey.
The wall closes with a bang. So they do have basic secrets. That was actually kind of cool. If, like, pretty obvious.
Hey, I mean, it was probably tough to implement this. Like, good for them for putting a little extra effort into the "hey, wouldn't this be funny" joke.
Oh yeah, no, it's just if you look at the description, it was like there must be an exit somewhere here. It must be openable. I don't know the best way to like handle secrets and that kind of thing in a game, to be honest. Like,
that's literally what IF is about, my man. Carefully examining room descriptions and Xing something or poking something that you didn't realize was there from the ostensible room description. That's the point.
Oh yeah. So we're in a courtyard. A stone-paved courtyard fills the center of the hangar complex. Inside it is a pool of acid in which you can clearly see a suit of mega armor.
Hey.
A cursory glance around the courtyard reveals nothing else of interest. The stairs lead down to the south from here. Get mega armor? I don't know that. Okay, just get regular armor? Let's just keep going west. No? Enter pool? Go. The acid pool isn't important?
remembers about this level. Are you shitting me?
Yeah, so it's definitely interesting, like, some of the pathfinding here. And I think part of that, because this is the second time that this has happened, I think some of it's obviously just like, oh my gosh, I don't need to have every single thing mapped out here. This is like 9/10 a joke. But I think some of it too is like trying to make it feel like you're walking around.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go down? Nope, that's back. Is exits a thing? No. Also, oh my gosh, if you make a parser game, please have exits installed. I know it's a little not, like, diegetic. Maybe if you want to be fancy, have it, like, be diegetic and only the ones that you found or whatever, but come on.
Look, baby, if you ain't walking in the room knowing where the exits are, I don't want to be friends with you.
The pool of liquid seethes and boils. Bubbles rise to the surface and pop with sluggish bursts. There seems to be a suit of armor in it. Yeah, I know. I want to get the armor. Get armor from pool? Okay, whatever. You don't need the armor. Opening the wall. Let's go back south. Opening the metal fire door. A dark hall with latticed metal walls. At the far end of the hall, an exit light burns brightly, but its light is not enough to light the rest of the room, which is barely visible. Under the exit sign to the south is a door, and on either side of it are side passages which pass behind the lattice walls. A barrel stands against one wall. In front of it lies another dead Marine. An imp is here. Shoot. Barrel. Blam, 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 kaboom! The barrel explodes. The imp splat is injured in the blast. Oh. So, well, that was not as effective as I thought it would be. Shoot the imp. There we go. Ooh, we're in a gruesome corner. More evidence of uncontrolled gunfire and bloodshed greet you in the loathsome niche. Another barrel and another body are a testament to the brutality of the demonic invasion. What if we go west? It's a grimy nook. A streaky, blood-spattered alcove containing a couple of mangled corpses. You see a whole bunch of stuff. Get all. Alright. We go south. The way out. Finally. You can leave this place. In this room, on the west wall, is the switch that will end this level. You see an armor bonus, an armor bonus, an armor bonus, an armor bonus, and a sim pack here. An imp is here. As you enter the room, you hear the sound of a lift operating somewhere behind you.
Okay.
Well, shoot imp. Get all. More on this side of things. Well, let's press the switch.
Sure.
Hangar entrance complete. After 120 turns, your health has become 77%, and your armor is now 95%. Your ammunition levels are what they are. Of 100% kills, 33% items, 33% secrets. You have finished the first level of FooM. Congratulations. The shareware version of FooM is just this level. If you want more exciting levels of blah, blah, blah. You can restore, restart, or quit.
Oh my god. Okay, that's pretty good.
So we're going to quit.
Yeah, let's maybe move on to number 2.
All right. So it's a couple years later, and you finally got it's a banner day. You got a 28.8 kilobytes modem. It is a huge upgrade. It's been a long time. The 2400 baud modem that you were using just couldn't keep up. And it's a few years later. And your computer's getting a little long in the teeth, and you know, it's a Mac anyway. What kind of video games are on a Mac?
Hey. There's Zork.
Is there even Zork?
Yeah, my dude. Is there
And
Zork? Fuck out of here.
well, as things are going, you still have your brother living with you, and he leaves something downloading all night and all morning. And at the end of it, something actually comes of it. And you fire it up.
Oh my god. Is this our same guy?
It is not. And this game is, oh my gosh, it's in 3D.
We're in the future, my frere.
And it's another id Software game, and you loved it. You loved the first one. You loved this one. And I think I'm going to call a very early Union streamer break and let us get in the right mindset for this game.
This is going to be a long shot. So I played my share of the original Doom, as did any dork who grew up in the 90s. I don't think I have ever played Quake. That's the one with Freeman, right?
No, that's Half-Life. That's an actually good game. I mean, okay. So Quake influenced a lot of things. Half-Life is multiple years after Quake came out. Half-Life is actually... The Source engine is a fork of the Quake engine.
Yeah, I knew something about that.
So, okay. All of that being said, like, Quake does predate that stuff a little bit, but we're talking about John Romero and, like, American McGee and level designers who did not care about plot. You know what they did care about? They did care about the fact that they got Trent Reznor to do all of the music for it. So, while we take our kind of early stream break, because we have only one more game after this, and this is also relatively short. Let's listen to that soundtrack.
Sure.
All right, we'll be back in 10.
Cheers. Cow demons?
Yeah, so what do you know about Quake?
Considering that in the last segment I asked if it was the one with Freeman, not much.
Yeah, so Quake,
Yeah.
the big thing, so I do not have Quake memorized. The big thing that I remember about Quake is that it's very brown. Like, very brown.
There was a huge modding scene for it, right? That was one of the things.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
all of these, Quake and Doom have, like, I mean, Doom is still getting mods. Actually, weirdly enough, I think it's John Romero. Yeah. John Carmack is making millions of dollars working for Oculus right now.
Bless.
But John Romero just put out a whole new episode for Doom a couple years ago. And pretty consistently puts out a map here and there.
So, what kind of interesting developments in the story? What kind of like rich layers of narrative are we going to uncover in the latest Doom installment?
Well, okay, so it's not a direct sequel. It's a whole new thing. So, like, Quake has much more. It's not like demons in the sense of like these are demons from hell. It's like much more medieval in origin.
I mean, medieval times are pretty into demons from hell, my man.
They're like aliens, I think. I don't know. The plot makes no sense.
Thank you.
The people who think that there's a plot to these games need to. No, I take that back. Bless the fact that they have interests.
But what does it say about foreskins?
No, this isn't Silent Hill. Okay. So we start in the necropolis. We have the id logo, which I think is actually pretty well done. id Software presents UPP initialized, EXE, 128 megabyte heap, video wait successfully enabled, GL vendor ATI Technologies Inc., loading GL Quake, using luminance light maps, video mode 640 by 480, text only initialized, sound initialization, initializing core audio, failed, audio support disabled, QuickTime CD driver, failed, building meshes, building arena, reticulating splines, execing quake.rc, execing default.cfg, couldn't exec, autoexec.cfg, demo playback disabled, Quake 1.09 by id Software, ported and compiled by Jason Bergman, loonyboy.com. Type credits for a full list of credits. Welcome to Quake. Type help for help, inventory for your inventory, and health to check your health. Credits for credits. The necropolis. You find yourself in a room with 3 corridors, each leading to a slip gate. On either side of you are stone pyres, their flames flickering softly. Directly in front of you is a metal structure with the word Quake carved into it. The structure
What's
splits.
the name of the show?
It is. Weirdly, so I was doing a little bit of quick Wikipedia research. Quake was the name of the character of the game that was supposed to follow Commander Keen. And so, like, it's either it's not. They were just like, cool, we're done with this and moving on. But that's where the name came from. They were like, well, we have this name laying around, we might as well use it. And so they turned it into the actual game.
Interesting.
The structure splits into 3 corridors to the northwest, north, and northeast, respectively. You can see a text file here.
Read file?
Yeah. Let's get the file. Let's read the file. Welcome to Quake Shareware version 1.01. Please consult the readme.txt file for the latest breaking information on this Quake version. Quake system requirements: IBM PC incompatibles, Pentium processor or better, VGA compatible device or better, 8 megabytes RAM minimum, 16 megabytes recommended, 16 megabytes required for running under Windows 95, CD-ROM drive required. MS-DOS 5.0 or better, or Windows 95 does not run under Windows NT. Hard drive, 30 megabytes for shareware, 80 megabytes for registered. Important: Quake requires a floating point processor. Systems that do not have an FPU installed will not run Quake at all.
Yes.
Thank you. id Software Inc. So, dealer's choice: northwest, north, or northeast?
Go to the northeast. My heart, my home.
You're standing in a dank and disturbing corridor. The floor is cracked and broken directly in front of you, creating a gap that prevents you from reaching the slipgate at the end. As you approach the gap, the phrase, "This hall selects the hard skill," hits you like a ton of bricks. Above, pinned to the walls on either side of you, are emaciated bodies that seem to be writhing in agony. You might be more comfortable going back the way you came to the southwest. A single jib bounces in and out of the lava, leaping up as if to grasp for freedom before plunging back down.
The jib.
A giblet.
All right.
It is what things turn into when you explode them.
Oh my god. All right, I can tell this is going to be a fun one. Can we X that jib?
Yeah, sure. A smallest bit of meat. You stare at it mid-flight for a moment and wonder what miracle of physics is causing it to leap so intoxicatingly. I think we can do hard skill.
Oh boy. All right.
What are you, an idiot? That's the lava. Jump over lava. You scoff at the pathetic lava as you jump over the other side. You can now proceed through the slipgate to the north. Your score has gone up by 1 point. So let's go north. You emerge from the slipgate into a room with 4 hallways. To the west, a metallic frame beckons you with bright red arrows pointing up to it, making you wonder why on earth someone would bother putting bright red arrows on a doorway.
I feel like a lot of this is going to be in jokes for people who are into Quake.
I honestly do not remember much of this. I remember that one room. So I was like, yeah, whatever difficulty you choose. To the northwest is an oddly shaped doorway covered in some sort of lattice work with checkered stone steps leading you into a Gothic hallway. To the northeast is a box-like doorway adorned with what can only be described as Gothic Aztec wallpaper and a pair of pseudo-Nordic runes. And to the east is a plain old wooden doorway with plain old wooden steps. You can see the flickering light from a torch coming down the hallway. Directly beneath your feet is a metal plate with something scratched onto its surface. Behind you to the south lies the slipgate you just emerged from. Let's look at the... Whoops. Let's look at the plate. The plate is a bit blurry and rusted, but you can clearly see that the text scratched into its surface is pure gibberish. Perhaps some meaning lies in these crude scratchings, but you certainly aren't going to spend the time bothering to figure it out when you have all these lovely hallways to explore. So what do we have? We have west, northwest, northeast, and east.
I'm gonna check out that Gothic hallway.
All right. Northeast portal room. As you ascend the steps into this corridor, the words, This is the third episode, the Netherworld. Primal fear in a strange dimension pops into your head. You really wish that sort of thing would stop. It's quite disconcerting. Directly in front of you, past a metal grate that flows over some lava to the north, lies what appears to be a thick metal door of some kind. The path by which you entered lies behind you to the southwest. All right, let's go north. I can't imagine they did all of this. As you walk towards the door, the thick metal frames swing open, disappearing into the walls on either side of you. You follow the metal bridge around the corner and up, eventually coming to an empty and poorly lit room containing a single rusted slip gate in front of you to the north.
Open slip gate?
Yeah.
Did we inventory or X ourselves?
We did not. Inventory. You were carrying a text file, a shotgun, an axe.
All right. What else does the boy need?
Self. As good looking as ever. Yeah, let's go north. You're standing in a dingy room with flickering lights. There are tools everywhere and wooden planks scattered across the floor. The slip gate you entered through lies directly behind you to the south. There's a small bowl of pudding sitting on the table, looking awfully tasty. Directly in front of you, a slovenly and obese fellow wearing dirt-covered jeans, a stained white t-shirt, and bright red trucker hat is sitting at a desk fiddling with some nails and a hammer. He turns around to look at you, and you see that he's wearing a name tag on his chest that reads Sal, which you assume is either his name or the name of the guy he stole it from. X pudding. The pudding is white, creamy, and very likely extremely yummy. Do you want
I feel like the pudding is a trap. I do want to eat the pudding. I want to eat it very badly.
Let's eat the pudding. First, taking the pudding.
This is...
How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? So, I guess let's look at Sal. Sal is fat, ugly, and quite possibly rather slow. He's everything you wish you could be. Sal
Flirt with
belches.
Sal.
Kiss Sal. Keep your mind on the game.
Boo. All right. Can we talk to Sal? If not, I vote we shoot him. This is Quake after all.
Yeah, talk to... You know, I made fun of you last game.
Ha!
Sal replies, "Hey, you shouldn't be his ears. You should just goes back the way she came until this year's rooms is completed." Do you still want to shoot Sal?
He does seem like kind of an asshole. Yeah, let's go see what else we got to go on around here.
All right. Portal room. Setting verbose. The necropolis. Oh no, this is a slipgate. Shoot. Jump over lava. All right. So we're back to the main room. We have northwest, east, and west.
See you soon.
West?
As you enter the west portal room, the words, "This is the first episode, Dimension of the Doom," materialized in front of you. After briefly panicking slightly, you continue, when all of a sudden the words, "The mystical past comes alive," pop up. Carefully, doing your best not to trip any more mystery words, you tiptoe your way into the room. The room is dimly lit, and one light keeps flickering on and off in a strobe effect you find to be quite annoying after a few seconds. The walls are metallic and rusted, a theme you see repeated on the slipgate directly in front of you to the north. I guess go north?
But don't see why not.
Loading. The slipgate complex. You are standing in a room with metallic corridor containing rusted walls and flickering lights. On either side of you, the metal floor is raised, leading to an indentation on the wall, which is filled with some kind of vague electronics of some sort. At the north end of the room are metal structures which are arranged in what appear to be steps of some kind. The only visible path from this room is to the west, where the thick metal door lies.
Open door?
Open door? Oh, okay.
I mean, what other options do we got?
Well, there are steps to the north, but yeah, I think that's west. This room is really more of an inlet off the previous corridor, as it consists only of some metal walls and a bright red button that is flashing. A grunt is standing here, armed with a shotgun and looking rather surly. The grunt's shotgun nicks your leg, hitting you for 5 points. It won't kill you, but you'd really rather it not happen again.
Do you have a health counter?
Yes, I think it's health. Yes. You have 95 health points left. You're a little banged up, but you'll live. You have 0 armor points. The grunt's shotgun hits your foot, hitting you for 5 points. You'll be fine tomorrow, but it really smarts. Do you want to try talking to the grunt?
He doesn't seem like he wants to talk to us, but we can give it a shot.
The fact that we actually got something the last time we tried it, I kind of want to see what it gives us.
Kind of impressive, not gonna lie.
Nothing.
Oh, well,
it shoots us.
Alright, let's shoot the fuck out of this stupid grunt.
Yeah, shoot grunt. What? You didn't actually expect that to do anything, did you? What kind of game do you think this is, anyway? What?
I think we have to shoot the gun. Which is bullshit.
Oh, God. We might actually die here.
Well, that's the FPS experience, baby.
What? I don't think we can shoot. Wait.
Hit grunt with axe?
Stuck already, eh? Well, that's okay. I'm here to help. Actually, I'm here for more interesting things than this, but hey, you're the player. You're playing an interactive fiction adventure written by one Jason Bergman. In this game, you'll want to walk around by typing the directions you wish to walk in. North, so on. You can take items by using take and manipulate them by using commands like eat, read, use, attack. Maybe attack?
Okay, so this is not just an FPS. They turned it into an actual adventure game. I love that. Hint? Guys, what do we do?
The shotgun is a nice long-range weapon. Not nearly as effective as a super shotgun, but it's effective enough for its primary purpose. Oh, okay.
Let's try attack grunt with axe.
You hit the grunt, taking off 10 from its health.
I would argue that anybody being shot in the pinky would wail, not just little girls.
Yeah, alright. Let's start from scratch. Kind of speedrun this.
In honor of this momentous occasion, I am going to switch headphones. BRB.
Alright, so we're going to jump over the lava. Score has gone up by 1 point. Go north. Go west. Go north. Go west. Attack grunt with shotgun. There we go.
Grunt.
We hit the grunt, taking off 12 from his health. You hit the grunt, taking off 12 from his health and killing him. Move over, Thresh. Your score has just gone up by 2 points. So we have 3 out of a possible 30 points. Like I was saying, I think this game's a lot shorter than the other one.
I mean, the other one was pretty short. Alright, so... Can we steal a shotgun?
No. I don't think this has as deep of, like, the mechanics of management as the Doom one.
I mean, the other one was pretty shallow, so...
Well, we also didn't use any of the interesting weapons. I don't know why I was like, no, we're not going to do this. Okay. Let's look at this button. It's a shiny red button, which blinks on and off. On, off, on, off, on, off. Press button. The elevator springs to life, jerking sharply and then moving downward. You walk out of the elevator and find yourself in an open yard. An open yard consisting of 2 patches of grass connected by a rusted iron bridge. On the other side of the bridge, a grunt and a Rottweiler are patrolling back and forth, and they notice your presence pretty quickly. Above you, the sky is a peaceful shade of gray, with clouds moving by so fast you feel like you're watching a time-lapse film. To your north is the entrance to a large metallic complex, while the elevator you emerge from lies behind you to the south. You can see 3 medkits here. A grunt is on patrol here, armed with a shotgun and looking rather surly. As you enter the room, he looks up and turns in your direction. The Rottweiler sniffs you immediately and runs in your direction.
Oh. Pet Rottweiler?
Pet Rottweiler. That is not a verb I recognize.
Boo! Fuck this game.
Attack grunt with shotgun. You hit the grunt, taking 6 off your health. The grunt's shotgun shoots across your shoulder, hitting you for 5 points. It's only a flesh wound. The Rottweiler, smelling the presence of fresh meat, starts running towards you, his tongue flapping out of his drooling mouth.
Rottweilers are actually very sweet and doofy dogs.
Yeah, if I remember right, they don't even look like Rottweilers. They look more like Dobermans, but picky. You hit the grunt, taking 10 off from his health and killing him. Fragtastic.
Ha! Suck it.
The Rottweiler chomps off part of your hand for 5 points. Alright, so we're attacking the Rottweiler.
I hate this game.
Your score has gone up by 1 point. So, get all medkit. Ah, that's better. Your health increases by 20 points. Get sky. If I could pluck the sky down and give it to you, I would, my dear. Red button. Now, what would you want to do with that?
Why is the sky implemented as an object?
So you could have that one interaction when you hit get all. Okay. Well, I guess north is the only direction.
Seems like we're supposed to go to the complex.
No, I wish I didn't put the, I don't know why I'm, like, aggressively mapping this, but I am. Complex entrance. You're standing at the entrance to what appears to be some sort of military complex. This room consists of thick metal walls that are covered in a fine brown rust and lumpy metal floors. Directly in front of you is a big hazardous materials canister. To your right is a pillar containing several monitors that appear to be painted on. There is a corridor leading deeper into the complex to the west, and a door leading back out into the yard to the south. The Rottweiler sniffs you immediately and runs in your direction. A Grunts is on patrol here, armed with a shotgun and looking rather surly. You can also see a medikit. Score has gone up by 2 points for killing the Grunt. So, I kind of what in that description interests you? I'm curious what is out there.
I mean, if this was a traditional parser game, I'd be Xing every verb as always. So X rust, X canister, X pillar, X monitors.
The canister is a metal canister marked with a red hazardous materials seal. Just in case it wasn't absolutely obvious that you really don't want to be near this thing, the seal is flashing in a rather effective shade of red. You said monitors?
Yeah.
And then what was the last thing?
Pillar.
The pillar is probably a load-bearing column, as it clearly has no technical value and adds little to the overall aesthetic of the room.
Alrighty. Well, what are our exits again?
I believe west. Yes.
Oh, well, go west, young man.
You're standing in a metal corridor consisting of several raised metal structures. The walls are heavily rusted and the floor is metal and lumpy. There's some metal stairs in front of you, continuing the corridor to the north, and a path leading back to the entrance to the east. Got 2 Rottweilers. As you enter the room, a Rottweiler that is perched on top of a metal structure catches your scent and begins running back and forth. There's clearly no way for him to reach you, but he doesn't seem to know that yet.
I'm curious, what happens if we go east? Will the Grunt chase us?
Good question. No.
Go figure. Alright, let's get back there and kill that Grunt.
Oh, getting all. Medikit, useful. Pillar, now why would you want to try and take a thing like that? Explosive canister. Do you not see the big "do not take this canister, you morons" seal flashing on its side? Fair?
I mean...
Attack grunt, attack grunt. Attack Rottweiler. Okay.
Necessary. He had a mother.
You do know my favorite story about GoldenEye, right?
Tell me.
So, do you know what the proposed epilogue to GoldenEye was supposed to be?
Tell me.
Miyamoto, the head of Nintendo,
Uh-huh.
didn't like that a near launch title was going to be a first-person shooter. And so he was going to have the credits be every single person that you killed, you visiting them in the hospital and apologizing to their family.
Oh, that's so good.
So I don't think I'm okay with not getting a perfect score on this.
I mean, yeah, it's not the point.
So let's.
And also, shooting the doggo seems unnecessary.
And okay, so some of these descriptions seem kind of similar. One of the big things, especially as a modern game player playing Quake that you will feel is that every single room kind of looks alike.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in stark contrast to, say, Doom, which has, I think, a really great sense of place. And, like, something that other Doom likes, I think, failed at. Like, do you ever play Marathon?
It doesn't ring a bell.
The big thing with Marathon, so that was a Bungie game. And it actually used its own engine. It wasn't like a lot of the Doom likes that either used the id engine or the what's the other one? The Duke Nukem engine, which is also really, really good. And like, there are some fascinating things that the Duke Nukem engine could do, like technically, like mirrors, for example. So you could look at yourself and go, "Damn, I'm sexy." But what but Marathon actually like had a story and actually had things to it, and had, I think it even had like quest objectives, you know, beyond just like get to the end of the map. A lot of things that led to like what made Halo really good when it came out. And herein lies the big difference between J Ram's video gaming and mine. I like games that you go pew pew in.
I am not. I'm interested in this conversation, interested in your insights. I have very little, if anything, to contribute here.
I mean, that is like the challenge, I think, of first-person shooters. Like, have you played, in like kind of a similar sense, have you played Hades yet?
Oh man, I gave it a shot. The gameplay loop, I just couldn't grab me. And I get it. I should like everything about it. I like all of its disparate parts.
No, totally. Like, that's I think the big challenge of a lot of like, honestly, a lot of games that the main mechanic is frankly like just pure violence. I think that is a limitation in games, and I don't know how to get around it. Like, not to say that the best games all have violence in them, but like, the games that come out and are for the general audience. I mean, I can't think of Disco Elysium, but even that has like some violence to it.
I would argue that it doesn't. There's
okay.
one...
I have not gotten far enough. I just figured there was at some point.
No, there's, without spoiling too much, there is one scene where you are forced into a violent situation as part of the narrative, and you have to make some choices. And I think depending on if you have your gun on you or not, the narrative of the scene might turn out differently. But it goes back to what I was talking about earlier with, you know, what is gameplay? What is play? And Disco Elysium, there is not what you would consider fighting gameplay in there.
Totally. No, that's interesting because, like, just interface wise, it's a lot like you didn't play the new Shadowrun remake that came out, like, gosh, probably like 10 years ago now.
Dragonfall?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I actually did. That's more of an isometric, I think it was turn-based, sprawly RPG, and I liked it. I liked it. It's not, even those big isometric RPGs, I'm playing through Pillars of Eternity right now, and enjoying it. The writing is fantastic. But so much of the gameplay revolves around moving around your little dude and, you know, optimizing your DPS, and I just... I can get that same effect by loading up Cheat Engine and setting my DPS to 2000, Whereas the narrative, like the experience of playing a puzzle game and the gameplay of managing your resources, to bring up something else that I just finished up, Road Warden, managing your resources, or figuring out a really satisfying puzzle, or connecting to subtle things that the game is telling you without that is satisfying gameplay to me. Whereas I get the sort of appeal of something like your Dark Soulses or your Dooms, or like, it's the reflexes, it's the optimization, it's the running around the simulated environment, all that stuff. It just kind of leaves me cold. It doesn't make me feel satisfied.
Totally. So let me ask this, because I'm actually struggling with this, trying to figure out what I'm playing next week on Monday.
Oh, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Finish Disco Elysium. The ending is brilliant. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I don't want to... How long is Disco Elysium?
Very long.
Yeah, see...
It's worth it. You spent 10 episodes on Nethergate, my frere.
I know, I want to do something shorter.
Okay, fair. Like,
so, what I was going to ask, how do you feel about the narrative, like, the narrative content of, say, like Deus Ex, or the one that I have downloaded and have never gotten through is System Shock 2 specifically.
Christ, yeah, same. You hear all these things about how it's one of the greatest ever made, etc., etc. The narrative content of Deus Ex, the reason that it is a legend, you know, sort of, like, it is the one first-person shooter that I have played and beaten because I got invested in the story. Everything else kind of seems like, don't cancel me. I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. But it seems to me that the narrative appeal, that the writing, that the exploration of theme is all kind of secondary to the game, the quote-unquote gameplay of, you know, how well can I optimize my sniper rifle? How many dudes can I shoot? How many bases can I get all up in?
Yeah. No, and that's you had suggested the video on why the newer Deus Ex was good but very flawed. And I think that's exactly like that's part of what he was getting at, was that there were ways to successfully play Deus Ex and not, like, you know, have a massive body count at the end of it.
Yeah, it really is pretty amazing. I'm not sure there's anything there has not been anything quite like it.
One game that might be interesting, I watched, oh gosh, what's their name on Twitch? Oops. Don't open that. I watched, one of the people that I follow on Twitch, but I want to shout them out because they're a wonderful stream, very cozy vibes. Who's dang it? Well, whatever. But they were playing the new Prey, which has nothing to do with the old Prey, and that really confused me until they were like, yeah, this is just like a totally different game. This has nothing to do with it. Which, the old Prey, totally great first-person shooter. But, like, one thing that I was impressed by is that it did have a lot of that, it's better not to fight in most cases. Mm-hmm. Which I find interesting.
Yeah, there are a few games that I think do that pretty well. Alien Isolation is one. I had not played it, but I watched my husband do it, and it actually looked pretty cool. You can make an argument it's more of a stealth game. Same for, I guess, The Last of Us, which, same, very little interest in playing, but boy, do I love those fungus zombies.
Yeah. I mean, and that's interesting because I know The Last of Us always gets in like discussions about games that are actually good in this realm. But no, that's in part why I wanted to like switch so violently to these kinds of games, because it is, and I'm not saying that these are particularly good versions of it. I just thought it was funny that there was a Doom and a Quake, and I'm interested in the next game, which is, this one's probably going to be pretty quickly over, so we can switch over to it. But which is not a parser game, actually, and I did not figure out how to move forward. So, but I was interested in like sort of what does it mean to be IF? Like, both of these games are in IFDB. And like, I would argue, I mean, there's words on the page, but is that like interactive fiction really?
Yeah, there's a little more of it in here than with the last one. The last one seemed kind of more of a proof of concept to me. I think the author is actually trying something here. As I said before, you absolutely can do combat in IF. Text-based RPGs are my favorite genre that has maybe a dozen examples in like the entire world of games.
Yeah, which is wild, because like there were verbal RPGs before text-based, but like what at least computer game RPGs tended to focus on, like, I don't know if you've ever played like Wizardry or any of those like dungeon crawlers.
Not since I was a kid.
Yeah. They're okay. The interface thing is real difficult.
If anybody is listening to this and actually wants a good text-based combat-heavy RPG, the game is thinking is Black Knife Dungeon by Arthur Bianca.
As I scribble it down.
There's also something called Kirker Krupp by incredibly talented writer and apparently super nice dude whose name I'm going to mangle, I apologize, Victor Gijsbers, which is kind of more of your classic dungeon crawler with a bit of narrative. I have played both of those and liked them a lot.
Yeah. And I think it was interesting. There was a Twitter thread that I got that book from that I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
That was talking about how, like, people. It was specifically talking about how, like, hypertext happened and IF happened and never the twain shall meet, and then as he said, the best way to get really good information is by being so horribly wrong on the internet. And so there was a ton of like really interesting stuff in there, but I think there's a lot of, because it's a amateur kind of thing. Like, it's not professionals making these games, and it's definitely not like people who consistently make games in general. Like there's all of the people who are famous in the field, who have made a number of games and all of that, but like on average these are not people who study game design.
Right.
So I wonder if somebody like comes up with this, oh, wouldn't it be funny if, and it's like, well, no, there's like 15 other versions of this, that are various levels of good and bad, and like you can only play so many games.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you're somebody like, I got this same feeling when I was playing a lot of the Flash text adventures. Like it was somebody who had the feeling that like, oh, remember text adventures? We should do something like that. And didn't know all of the bits and pieces that go into it. Like having played, you know, some bad ones, but a lot of really good like parser games. I'm like, I would be very intimidated to make a parser game. And props to anyone who puts out any game. To be honest,
I am so grateful to this. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The IF community is one of the main draws of IF.
Like, so all of that to say, like, these were not picked based on quality per se. They were picked because it was an amusing theme, and like the polar opposite of the kind of like genuinely literary, I would argue genuinely interactive fiction.
Mm.
And especially as you like dove into the code of the choice ofs, where you're like, look, if we only did this 3 chapters ago, we would have hit the flag to make this able to happen. And then, okay, but would that have been the correct like role-playing choice? Yeah, we got boxed into the ending that we did, but is that necessarily a bad thing from a narrative standpoint? Like, yeah, we couldn't do the thing, but like we aren't achievement hunting per se. We're like trying to tell a story to ourselves.
Yeah, it's certainly not a bad thing at all. It's the way that wizard ended, and someday we'll go through it again and maybe get a better ending. I want to turn into a dragon. God damn it! You can you can fall in love with the queen and then turn the queen into a dragon, then turn yourself into a dragon and be immortal dragon monarchs. Sorry, spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fascinated by that because I also feel like with the choice of games, I never get those endings. I always get the like mediocre ones or the bad ones, and I'm like, but all the things were there.
Mm. All right.
Yeah, so let's finish this game so that we can, because I do want to check out this other one because the interface is interesting.
Let's press the button.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, we're standing at the top of some metal stairs facing a giant gap which is filled with some brown, ugly water. There are some stairs to the north leading down into the water and a path leading back to the south. On the wall to your right is a button that's blinking softly to itself. As you enter the room, you notice 3 grunts that are sitting here. They look up at you and seem to be quite annoyed that you have shown up like this, inadvertently disrupting their otherwise peaceful game of Diamondback. I want to look at the game first.
Yeah, what's Diamondback?
Boo.
Cards?
Flavor text only.
Boo.
You press the button, which causes a platform to slide out and cover up the noxious water pit. Phew. You can now continue on to the north. Grunt 1, shotgun nicks your leg. Grunt 2, shotgun hits you right in the ear, taking it clean off. It's a good thing those meta kits are so effective, because you've really grown quite attached to that ear. Yeah, let's just skip these grunts and see what happens. Like, do they follow us? Because they will follow you in Quake. Nope. Or at least not so far. You're standing in a straight hallway with the metal walls and floor. It continues on to the north or back to the south. Yeah, let's just continue north.
Fuck these guys.
At least till we find a new enemy. Standing at the top of a ramp leading downwards to the north, as you approach the ramp, a light goes on above you. There's a curious-looking red button here, blinking quietly to itself. I don't remember all these buttons. But I do remember this. It's like a bottomless pit, and you're on a very thin ramp that goes around a room.
Mm-hmm.
As you press the shiny red button, the button turns yellow and the words 2 more to go pop into your head. Okay. Leading downwards to the north. Excellent. You're standing in the middle of a lengthy ramp that twists around and leads downwards to the north. As you continue your descent, a light goes on above you. A path back out lies behind you to the south. There's a curious-looking red button here, blinking quietly to itself.
We probably got to take this guy out before we can press the button.
Press button. No, it's a first-person shooter. You can just walk around people. Though we are losing health.
Ah, yes. That inimitable FPS experience. Precisely why anybody picks up the game.
I like pacifist runs in first-person shooters. Like,
hey man, Deus Ex, like that is one of the reasons Deus Ex is one of the greatest of all time. Like,
well, that's like what I'm interested in with System Shock is that I've only seen the first like third of the first level. There's got to be more, right? There's got to be like plot there.
I mean, I hear there is.
All right. One more button. As you press the shiny red button, the button turns yellow and the word sequence complete pops into your head. In the distance, you can see that a door is opened up at the end of the ramp. Yeah, keep going north? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Final room. You're standing in a white and utterly bare room with no perceivable exit. The doorway you came from has completely disappeared behind you. In fact, the only thing in the room at all, aside from yourself, is a grungy-looking chap who has his fingers tented in a Mr. Burns-esque pose. Seeing you suddenly appear in front of him apparently comes as no surprise to this person, as he nods, acknowledging your presence.
Oh, can we save?
Sure.
Yeah, let's save. I'm curious as to what happens if you just attack this guy. Maybe we should talk to him first. I don't know.
We just saved. Attack chap with axe. Attack man with axe? The creator turns towards you. Well, if you're going to act that way, I'll just have to take that away from you.
Oh no, he's the guy with the beard.
The person stands up from his chair and begins to walk around the room, stroking his dingy beard. Let's do it again. Oh. I no longer have the axe. Well, fine. Do it with a shotgun. The person turns towards you and says, I suppose you probably want to know what's going on here. He ponders this for a moment. Talk to man. You get no reply. I beg your pardon. Wait. The stranger continues. The game you are actually playing, elaborate as it may be, is in actuality an April Fool's gag. Stranger
is this a Matrix joke?
Maybe. Be a little late for a Matrix joke. 2004?
I mean...
The stranger continues to walk around the room. You see, this whole thing, he gestures around the completely empty white room, is nothing more than a joke. He stops his pacing for a moment, or at least that was the idea anyway. Odd as it may seem, the idea of an interactive fiction version of the original Quake struck me as being a very, very funny idea. And so I created everything you see here. Well, not everything you see here, because obviously there's nothing to see in this room, but I'm referring to the game as a whole. And so here you are, having completed the entire game as it currently stands. I must confess, I didn't actually expect you to get this far, but I suppose I underestimated you.
Okay.
So I tell you what, you've actually been an awfully good sport here, and you've played this far without killing yourself, so I'm glad to let you win this game. For now, anyway. But hopefully you've enjoyed playing this as much as I've enjoyed creating it, as I do believe I will continue this project. I will, of course, confess to the portions of it that are intended to be part of the April Fool's gag. If you really put this in the same directory as your Quake pack files, I've got a bridge to sell you. So thank you for playing. Be sure to check out the IF Quake site periodically for new release. It may take me a while, but there are a lot of stuff I intend to put in. Besides, you haven't even seen a shambler yet. Thanks again, and good night. In that game, you scored a 13 out of a possible 30 in 61 turns. What's the full score for that game?
Yeah, I'm curious.
It's just killing people. Jumping over the lava, killing some grunts and some Rottweilers and some grunts and some Rottweilers. Released the platform over the acid, completed the button sequence. And we missed, I think, 6 grunts. Which would have been 12 more points.
I mean...
So maybe there was a secret here or there. Definitely, so like... Again, I was talking about the Flash games. Like, I don't know if you had actually tried Thy Dungeon Man, like, at all recently.
Enlighten me.
The, oh gosh, what is it? The Homestar Runner, like, text adventure.
It's been a while.
Yeah, you're not missing much. I played all 3.
Oh.
And, like, that's the thing. I think... And one of the things that I appreciate about doing this stream is being able to, like, think more critically about these kinds of things. Instead of just being like, oh, well, yeah, I mean... text adventures. But I don't know. I think it's like the kinds of craft that are here, and like not just narrative craft but also game craft. Like, I'm still stuck on Superluminal Vagrant Twin. Like, I think about how that game in particular is everything that I liked about a space trading sim.
Oh god, yeah.
And like the fact that it did that while being I don't know, while being a text-based game, I think is a real strength. Like, I mean, one of my earliest memories of playing games is a text-based game. Like, you've played Lemonade Stand.
Lemonade Stand.
Like the game where you run a lemonade stand and you have to buy sugar and lemons and sell it. And like sometimes it's raining and so you don't sell as much.
You just dredged up something so deep from my subconscious it was like in the Mariana Trench of my psyche. Good God, yes.
And like, I don't know, like that genuinely was like a game that I enjoyed, you know, as a kid, for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it brings in some resource management stuff and like Yeah, that's part of why I have been so overjoyed to do this series with you and to sort of be talking to you about this, is that I want more people to see the potential that text-based games have. Um, the way that they can do things. And do things in an incredibly accessible way that other games, yeah, they can do, but not as intuitively, not as easily, and certainly with not as low a bar to entry for DIYing. I mean, there has never been a better time for the amount and quality of games being made by everybody. Go on itch.io and just, find like some 15-year-old from Tumblr making a VN. That's fucking great.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's always been that tradition in text-based games, and the genre has a lot to say for it, has a lot going for it in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a lot to be said for also the accessibility as a player. Like I'm at a point in Hades, for example, where like I am just not good enough.
Yeah.
I am never going to be good enough to like move forward in the plot. Like I die too often. I will never resolve my daddy issues. And like I don't know what to do about that. Like in the old days, like when I was a kid, I'd just cheat. But like I'm old and refined and don't like cheating.
Just cheat, dude. You're older. You're feeling the ticking, inexorable clock of death growing closer to you every day. We don't have time for this. Just cheat.
But like with the choice of games, yeah, I might not pay all that much attention when I should, but at least like I can get a full and fulfilling story at the depth that I want, and I don't have to have twitchy reflexes.
Mm-hmm.
I think about like when I would play games with my brother, and like there were games that he wanted to enjoy playing because he wasn't like the kind of person who liked, sitting on the couch with you while you played. And like we would play like N64 and it was just like, I do not understand this controller.
Mm-hmm.
This controller does not work for me. It's like fair. I get that. So I've got one more game. And it's a little different.
Okay.
And so it is called much as I love our degreelessness mode, it's got to go. It is called The Spicy Meatball Saves the Day.
Oh boy.
And again, I have very little idea what I'm getting into. And it is the newest game. It is not retro. It's from 2017. So let's fire it up. Yellow. There we go. Do we have music? I don't think so. Okay. Oh, we do have sound.
Okay.
Do. All right. So we have a readme.
Greetings, hero, and welcome to the Spicy Meatball Saves the Day. To play, select New Game from the main menu, and after the introduction sequence ends, use the mouse or cursor keys to look around and read text descriptions of the environment and objects around you.
So this is a game jam game. Full disclosure.
An object may be picked up or otherwise interacted with by pressing return or clicking the left mouse button. Some scenes are meant to be quieter than others. Be sure to adjust your volume against the music in the introduction to ensure that the game's loudest sounds aren't too loud. If you'd like to find more games like this, visit icicle-engine.org. If you'd like to hear more music like this, visit inversephase.com.
Alright. So right mouse click shows our inventory, left mouse click interacts. Up and down are moving. So we have a new game. An orange streak blazes across the evening sky. It is you, the Spicy Meatball, returning to your secret hideout, following a daring assault on the hidden Sea Slug Squad lair down at the gasworks. Using your respirator to slip past their burping gas perimeter, you are able to sneak up on and quietly dispatch the squad's lookouts. Then it was just a simple matter of climbing up to the hidden loft with your grappling hook and squeezing a confession out of Sid Sea Slug through a combination of blunt fish persuasion and winsome stares. Soaring over Hillwood Heights, you catch a glimpse of a convoy of police cars, fire trucks, and ambulances heading towards a two-story house that is billowing smoke. You don't have much fuel left in your rocket boots, and you did have plans to catch up with the ineffable for dinner. Something about cries for help and in scene. You land gracefully in front of a burning building. Onlookers crowd around as police cars screech to a halt nearby. A man cries out and runs towards you saying, "My son! My son!" You see the front door leading into the burning building. The building's front door is ajar, and flames lick at its frame. You think you could dash inside without getting burned. You feel that you should talk to the distraught man and the firefighters before entering the building. So, okay, here's how this works. You move your mouse down and you look down. So I'm looking at the street right now.
Okay.
The street beneath your feet is clean. Street sweepers do Birch Street on Tuesdays.
Okay.
We have all this.
Let's look up.
Yeah, so we see the building's roof. You think your rocket boots have one last jump left in them. You could hop onto the top of the building, but that would mean you'd have to take the train home. You feel that you should talk to the distraught man and the firefighters before entering the building. And then looking at the evening sky, the sky is dimming in the early evening. Dark smoke billows up from the burning building's windows and is lit from below by the flashing beacons from the fire truck, police cars, and ambulance on the street. And then we can turn right and left to see various...
This is extremely cool.
So I did not get that you can right-click. You are carrying rocket boots, respirator mask, grappling hooks, stunning costume. So what I couldn't figure out is how to do anything.
I was going to say, how do we actually interact here?
Like it says a distraught man looks helplessly, and you should probably talk to them.
Click? I mean...
That is what I am doing.
No?
You see 3 possible points of entry into the burning building.
Well, okay, we gotta talk to the guy first.
Right?
Does the keyboard do anything?
Up, down, left, right just moves us.
Well, fuck.
So, let me go... You go back to the readme. I know. Okay, no. Alright, let's try it one more time. We got that. See, so there's that continue. And that we can click. You feel that you should talk to the distraught man and the firefighters before entering the building. You see the front door leading into the building. So how do we go there? Oh, you see a large window. The window looks out from the first floor. You think that you could reach it with your grappling hook.
Interesting.
No dice there. You feel that you should talk to the distraught man. You see the building's roof. You see a large fire truck. A mechanical ladder on top of the fire truck is being rotated to face the building. So, we have this. I can't believe that this is... Oh, here we go. Alright, you see several police officers and firefighters. The police officers and firefighters are discussing how to control the blaze.
Okay, so it looks like that sup icon at the bottom is our action?
Yeah. So you talk to the police officers and firefighters. Police officers explain that they have cordoned off the block and they will be removing the onlookers soon. The firefighters explain that it's too late to save the building and tell you that you should be very careful if you choose to go inside. One recommends the roof, another recommends the front door, and a third recommends the first floor window. So that's it. Where's the distraught man? You see a distraught man. The man is trying desperately to catch your attention. The man explains to you that his young son is still trapped inside the building, possibly on the first floor. So it sounds like we should go through the first floor window.
I mean, we do have this grappling hook.
Oh, nice. And now we can do things.
Okay.
Good. I was a little heartbroken there for a minute. So, okay. We can just go through the front door.
Seems a little obvious.
The window looks out from the first floor. You think you could reach it with your grappling hook. You want to do that?
We have a grappling hook. Why have a grappling hook if you're not going to use it?
Let's swing. You fire your grappling hook at the large window. The grappling hook sails smoothly through the air and lodges firmly in the brickwork above the window. You quickly climb and are able to open the window from the outside. Transition. You climb through the window and into the hallway. The heat is so intense and you find yourself sweating more than usual in your tight superhero costume. You look at the ceiling. The paint on the hallway ceiling is bubbled into heat. Stand at the west end of a hallway. Contrasting the intense heat of the flames, a coolness emanates from the large window to the north. Closed doors lead northeast and southeast, and the hallway continues to the east. A staircase leads down to the southwest.
Aren't you supposed to not break windows in a fire because it lets the oxygen in?
What is this, backdraft? The floorboards smolder beneath your feet as wisps of smoke waft up between them.
Okay. So what are we doing here? Just looking for people to rescue?
Yeah, so we have northeast and southeast for closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hallway continues to the east, and a staircase to the southwest.
Feel the door and see if it's hot. We can't do that. Let's try the doors.
Well, okay. Blue door. The blue door has a hand-painted picture of a stick figure showering. Probably a bathroom. After checking for the presence on the fire on the other side, you open the door and enter. See, we were safe. Stand in a small bathroom. The bathroom contains a shower and a toilet. A towel rack sits next to the shower, and a blue door in the northwest leads back to the hallway. A sink drips in the east.
Okay.
The floor beneath your feet is covered in light blue tiles. The ceiling is hard to make out in the dim light.
I gotta say, this up-down... I am loving the chutzpah here. I've never seen anything quite like this. But I'm really hoping that the up-down mechanic has a payoff at some point, because right now it just seems kind of annoying.
Yeah, this is definitely a tech demo.
Yeah, is this actually an existing system, or is it like a homebrew thing?
I did... Look, I was researching Quake. I'll be honest.
Understandable. Alright, I don't think there's much we can do in the bathroom here. You wanna try to fuck with the sink?
Nothing to fuck with.
Alright, well, let's get out of here.
A tower. Oh, hey, towels. Several orange towels hang on the towel rack.
Okay, the little, comic book sound effect bubble action buttons are very cute. Yoink!
The orange towel is thick and fluffy.
Oh, can we wet it in the sink?
Good thinking.
Let's have a nice shower. I feel a little grungy.
Hey, there's a toilet.
Can you flush the toilet?
Number one rule of game design.
Mm-hmm.
Who? Oh, it was that. I think it was that. There was somebody that I recently read or saw a video on where they talked about how you have to if you put a toilet in a game, you have to be able to flush it.
Yeah, my god, it's just common sense.
Alright, you can wet your towel here. Moisten!
Nice.
You quickly stuff your orange towel into the sink and turn on the faucet. The thick towel greedily soaks up the water. You wrap the wet towel around your face and stow your respirator for later. Alright, let's get out of this bathroom. Blue door, here we go.
Alright.
So what was it? Northeast?
Yes, I think.
The door frame is painted yellow. From within you can hear voices.
Alright. Let's go be superheroes.
Before proceeding, you feel the door to make sure it isn't hot, then let yourself in. I'm sorry, you are a superhero. Do you need to be testing for that?
We're also a meatball. Maybe we're pre-cooked.
Fair. You stand in a modest bedroom. Aside from a luxurious carpet, the bedroom feels plain but well kept. On a dresser to the east, an alarm clock radio flashes 12:07. A yellow door leads southwest to the hallway. Look at the floor. It's a cream carpet that lines the floor. A lone light bulb dangles from a cord hanging from the ceiling. See a window. The window looks diagonally across Birch Street. Most of the view is obscured by a nearby building.
Do we still have our grappling hook? Or is it a consumable?
It is a consumable.
Fuck, that's not how grappling hooks work! But okay.
Is it not?
No!
I feel like grappling hooks work that way, and they are not like the Batman grappling hook that goes poof and then goes somewhere, and then you can use it in the next scene to go poofed away isn't real.
a hook with a rope on it. Once you've levered yourself up to where you're trying to go, you can just take the hook and wind the rope up and put it in your damn pocket or utility belt.
Fair.
It's wasteful.
So I was
thinking. Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking the wardrobe. It's a tall wardrobe. It stands open, revealing some plain pants and several shirts. Some of the shirts have floral designs.
Okay.
To the east, an alarm clock radio. Like, where?
Okay, light bulb. Can we get the light bulb?
So this is definitely like a challenge of the interface. You can only click, so it's like, what would you... But they use the words, like they capitalize the words like they're proper nouns.
Or interactable objects, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't seem like there's much else we can do. It said that we heard voices from in here.
Yeah, I wonder if that's just the alarm clock radio.
Shit, yeah, you're right. Alright, let's get out of here.
Let's just make sure. Yeah, alright. Make your way to the west end of the hallway. The heat is intense here. Blue door. You see the far end of the hallway. The hallway runs the full length of the building. At the far end, you can see more doors and another staircase. Okay.
Are we on the top floor? Has it been established? Do all the stairs go down?
We're on the first story in apparently a British sense. So the second floor.
Hate that shit. Fucking limeys. Yo, did you hear that the pound is weaker than the dollar now?
Yes, I did, actually.
I vote that it's fucking called soccer.
I just want to go to Britain now. That was like half the reason why I never went.
Yo, for real, Western Europe is expensive as hell.
The euro's below the dollar, too. I don't have any dollars, so...
That's true, I don't have any dollars either. Shit.
Like, who cares?
Okay.
Alright, so east end of the hallway, the air is thick and you blink to keep your eyelids moist.
The pros here is a little workmanlike, but honestly, if it's a tech demo, that's not what we're here for, so I appreciate it.
Yeah. No, I basically got to that first scene when this is a really cool interface, and then was like, I have to test other things. You stand at the east end of the hallway. The fire is close, but it hasn't reached this end of the building yet, and you feel thankful to be a distance from the flames. A lavender door leads southeast, and the hallway continues to the west. A slight breeze blows down a staircase to the north. So southeast. Lavender door. It's covered in dinosaur stickers and is jammed from the other side from a fallen beam. You think you could blast open the door with your rocket boots. Yeah, let's blast.
Why not?
And that's actually kind of cool. So you could have gotten there and then not had the rocket boots. You aim your rocket boots at the lavender door. I wish you could hear these sound effects. They are minimalistic, but very nice. You take off your rocket boots and hold them in your hands. Bracing open against the opposite wall, you activate them and blast the door open. You enter the lavender bedroom. You open the now unobstructed lavender door. You stand in a child's bedroom. The room's lavender walls are adorned with drawings and paintings showing a growing artist's progressing skill. A door leads northwest. A child lies on a green blanket in the southeast corner of the bedroom. You see a window. The window looks out onto Pine Road. It has metal bars over it. It's a plain carpet lining the floor. The ceiling is covered in glow-in-the-dark stars, forming imaginary constellations around a skylight.
Ah, shit. Mess with that grappling hook.
Yeah. That's interesting. So we see a child. You see an unconscious boy lying on a green blanket. The child seems to have passed out from smoke inhalation. You will carry him with you when you leave the room. You could fit him with your respirator mask, but then you would need to breathe in the fire. Assist! You kneel next to the unconscious child, so by your wise action of putting the towels in the sink, remind me the next time I am in a house fire to have you around.
Just call me. Don't fuck 911.
You quickly put the respirator mask on the unconscious child, who breathes more easily and quickly rouses. Anxiously, the child asks you to save his dog Bobo, who often hides in the kitchen when scared and only comes when his name is called.
Bobo. Okay, we have to say Bobo.
Yes, especially after the last game.
Yeah, seriously.
The child looks too panicked to walk. You will have to carry him with you when you leave the room. All right. You will carry the child with you when you leave. You pick up the child. Without your respirator mask, you're relying on the wet towel to let you breathe. You hope it'll be enough. All right. We need to go downstairs. See a burned out hallway. The floor of the hallway is burned through and collapsed, leaving a gaping hole. You wish you'd packed 2 grappling hooks before leaving your secret hideout this morning. On the far side, you can see more doors and another staircase. Staircase to the north.
Yeah.
See a staircase. The staircase leads upward. A sign next to it reads roof access.
I don't think that's where the kitchen is going to be.
No, we have to go across.
Ah, farts.
All right, that's fine. Oh, no, we can't. We have to go up. That's the only way.
This is some bullshit. Ask the boy where his damn kitchen is.
I think we have to go up.
Bobo.
At the top of the staircase is a locked door leading out the roof. You unlock it and exit. You arrive on the burning building's roof. Potted plants wave gently in the light breeze as you approach. You see Birch Street. Below you, through the smoke, you can see police officers and firefighters busying themselves. Paramedics have moved the distraught man to the ambulance and are trying to calm him. Look at the roof. The roof of the building is gray concrete, clear except for a door, several potted plants, and a skylight.
Check out the plants, I suppose.
Several potted plants sit along the east and west edges of the roof. In the southeast corner is a skylight.
Okay.
You see a nearby rooftop.
Oh no!
Several people are gathered on the roof of a nearby building, watching the fire with concern. There is a pool on the roof. People wave and point at the pool. You think you could throw the child far enough to reach. Heave! You reach back with all your might, carefully aim, and then throw the child into the pool on the nearby rooftop. The people there quickly retrieve him. One of the people has retrieved a long rope and throws it to you. You should be able to use it to climb down to Birch Street. Okay. Oh, you see Birch Street. Below you, through the smoke, you can see police officers and firefighters busying themselves. Paramedics have moved the distraught man to the ambulance and are trying to calm him. You see a place to tie off the rope. You tie off the long rope and quickly climb down to Birch Street. As you land, you are given the usual fanfare, and the firefighters, police officers, and paramedics quickly make preparations to leave. Avoiding the expectant stares of onlookers, you head off down Birch Street. With another heroic act deftly performed, you begin trudging toward the train station, cursing that you didn't think to fill up your rocket boots before heading out for the Sea Slug Squad's hideout earlier in the day. As you leave the dimming fire behind, an ambulance carrying the distraught man and his son to the Hillwood Hospital speeds by you and you wave good-naturedly. Moments later, the large fire truck passes you, sounding its horn. Several firefighters hanging from the back salute you. Litter from a nearby garbage can swirls around you as a sleek silver helicopter descends from the sky. The ineffable F leans out of the cockpit and asks what life is like on the ground. You roll your eyes and ask for a ride home. The ineffable F grins and agrees on the condition that you stop for pizza on the way. You quickly board the F-copter and speed off into the night.
Okay.
165 points.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm mad that we didn't save the dog.
I am mad that we didn't save the dog. Yeah, this is definitely a tech demo. John Cheeseness Bush. Uses the Icicle engine. I'll admit this is a lot of music. I mean, interesting. I'm actually really curious now. Yeah, hybrid engine Icicle. What is this Icicle engine?
This looks like a homebrew thing.
Yeah, it is very homebrew. I mean, not homebrew. They've got a Patreon and whatnot. Virtual reality head-mounted display support. That's kind of interesting.
What?
Yeah, interesting. They've got Memories of Mist, Colossal Cave Adventure, Babu. This is intriguing. Yeah, this will be something interesting to like piece together if we can get a good B-side, because these all look like 5-10 minute games.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. To see what you can do with it exactly. But it's definitely like very, very interesting. That's why I picked it up. It's a very different kind of first-person shooter text adventure. It's more first-person shooter in the concept of how you use the mouse.
Yeah, moving around a virtual space in kind of an interesting kind of way.
But yeah, so that was my B-side for the other side of Choice of Magics.
That was thoroughly enjoyable. Thank you very, very much.
Cool.
It's always fun, spelunking down these kind of little rabbit holes of kind of experimentation and tech demos, trying to do something interesting. If not necessarily always successful, it's something interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I'm always, one of the streamers that I follow kind of religiously is Zizzy, and she is a wonderful follow if you are interested in what isn't successful at what it's trying to do. Because she plays a lot of weird DOS games. Like that is her niche. And it's like, what, like, not all of these games are successful. And I think that's important. Like, always come back to Flash games. Some of those Flash games are, like, not very successful, or, like, it was interesting, especially when you, like, Geneva Lee, one of the other people that I follow, she, like, streams during the day. But she does Flash games every Wednesday, and what people will do, either not paying attention, or they'll be like, oh my gosh, no, the sequel's so much better, play the sequel. And you get to see, like, the first implementation of a game, and you're like, this is kind of rough around the edges, this doesn't quite work. And then the second game, you're like, oh, this actually does work. Like, they found the, like, core game loop and what makes it fun. Like, she went, like, really deep on Bloons and Bloons Tower Defense.
Oh, motherfucker. You don't have to explain to me about Bloons. Come on.
Right. But, like, she went through the whole arc of, like, oh, well, Bloons, okay, I get this game. All right, Bloons Tower Defense 2, okay. This is fun. This is interesting. And then she got to, like, 7 and was like, okay, I mean, everything's a microtransaction. I'm having trouble following this. It's lost the, like, core game loop. Which I find interesting as, like, the other side of unsuccessful. But yeah. This was definitely really fun.
Yeah.
Are you gonna come hang out on Friday?
Possible. We gotta talk about finding a time for D&D. But we can do about that. We can do that off the air.
Yes. Well, if you're coming on Friday, I think we're gonna do the B-side that I planned last week. And this one I won't hide from you.
Oh boy.
It's some Laserdisc games and a VHS game.
Okay, that sounds like fun. Let me see what I can do.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, that'll be Friday, and then I don't know what I'm doing Monday.